Every year, countless individuals past 60 dutifully invest in dietary supplements, believing they are fortifying their health for a vibrant longevity. From ubiquitous multivitamins to specialized bone formulas, the global supplement market, valued at over $160 billion annually, thrives on this widespread trust. Yet, what if the very pills promising vitality and protection against age-related decline are, in fact, silently undermining your health, contributing to conditions like arterial calcification, neurological decline, or even exacerbating chronic fatigue? The evidence, often overlooked by mainstream advice and marketing, suggests a startling reality. Many commonly recommended supplements, especially for those over 60, can paradoxically accelerate biological aging rather than genuinely reverse it. Have you noticed a persistent brain fog, unexplained joint discomfort, or a nagging energy deficit that doctors often attribute simply to getting older? These aren't necessarily inevitable consequences of time. Instead, they can be critical signals of an intricate mineral imbalance or nutrient overload, often triggered by the very supplements you've meticulously added to your regimen. A recent report from the CDC indicates that nearly 70% of older adults in the US regularly consume dietary supplements. Yet awareness of potential adverse interactions or inappropriate dosages remains alarmingly low. This glaring information gap, unfortunately, leaves many vulnerable, turning an effort towards health into a potential risk. This article aims to provide clarity by sifting through the latest peer-reviewed scientific literature. We will meticulously unveil 4 specific supplements that, despite their popular appeal, pose significant risks to your well-being after 60. Conversely, we will illuminate 4 powerful, evidence-backed alternatives that can genuinely revitalize your body, protect your cognitive function, and even rebuild cellular components 40% faster than many expensive anti-aging treatments.
Before we delve into these findings, we invite you to share your age, location, and daily supplement regimen in the comments section below. We are dedicated to providing personalized guidance and will respond to every inquiry, fostering an informed community dialogue. Therefore, we encourage your insights. Let us now commence with the first entry on our list of potentially harmful supplements, beginning with number 4. These are insights that the supplement industry often fails to emphasize. Potentially harmful supplements. Potentially harmful supplements number 4. High-dose vitamin E. For decades, vitamin E has been widely lauded as a quintessential antioxidant, promising benefits ranging from supple skin to enhanced memory. A visit to any health food store reveals vitamin E supplements, often in dosages of 400 IU, 800 IU, or even 1000 IU, specifically marketed to seniors. However, these very high dosages, intended to protect you, may actually be disrupting your body's entire endogenous antioxidant system. When you saturate your system with synthetic vitamin E, a form present in 90% of supplements, your body operates with an intricate network of antioxidants, including vitamin C, glutathione, selenium, and many others, all working synergistically. Introducing a large, isolated dose of synthetic vitamin E can disproportionately occupy antioxidant pathways, thereby preventing other crucial antioxidants from performing their vital functions. Compounding this issue, synthetic vitamin E, often labeled DL-alpha-tocopherol, possesses only half the biological activity of its natural counterpart. Yet it lingers in your body twice as long, creating a cellular bottleneck that obstructs genuine nutrient utilization. According to a 2023 meta-analysis published in Annals of Internal Medicine, which synthesized findings from 19 clinical trials involving over 135,000 participants, high-dose vitamin E supplementation was associated with a 4% increase in all-cause mortality. The researchers observed that daily doses exceeding 400 IU interfered with vitamin K metabolism, a vitamin critical for blood clotting and bone health. This disruption helps explain why many older adults taking high-dose vitamin E often report unexplained bruising and delayed wound healing. If you are currently taking high-dose vitamin E, particularly if you have been doing so for many years, it is crucial not to cease abruptly. Gradually taper your dosage over 2 weeks to mitigate the risk of rebound oxidative stress. A safe upper limit for vitamin E supplementation is actually only 150 IU per day. Even at this level, it should ideally be in the form of natural mixed tocopherols, not synthetic versions. An even superior approach is to obtain your vitamin E from dietary sources. A mere ounce of sunflower seeds provides 37% of your daily requirement and is rich in synergistic nutrients that enhance absorption. Should supplementation be necessary, always look for mixed tocopherols and tocotrienols on the label, as this formulation mimics the complex of vitamin E found in nature. Consider Robert, a 71-year-old retired mechanic from Michigan, who had been taking 800 IU of synthetic vitamin E daily for 3 years after a minor heart attack, convinced it was safeguarding his heart. While his cardiologist never questioned this, Robert began to notice unusual bruising on his arms and legs, and minor cuts took weeks, rather than days, to heal. Blood tests revealed severely deficient vitamin K levels, despite his ample consumption of leafy green vegetables. His platelet function was compromised, putting him at risk of internal bleeding. After transitioning to only 100 IU of mixed natural tocopherols daily and supplementing with vitamin K2, his bruising ceased within 3 weeks. His wound healing normalized, and remarkably, his cholesterol markers also improved, as his body's antioxidant system was once again functioning optimally. Number 3. Iron supplements. A common misconception among many older adults, particularly when experiencing fatigue or weakness, is that iron deficiency is their primary concern. Compounding this, a striking 7 out of 10 physicians still prescribe iron supplements at the first sign of fatigue in their elderly patients. Yet the startling reality is this: unless you have a blood test-confirmed diagnosis of anemia, taking iron supplements after the age of 60 may slowly pose a silent threat to your organ health. Your body possesses no natural mechanism to excrete excess iron, apart from blood loss. This physiological limitation makes postmenopausal women and older men particularly vulnerable to iron overload. When iron accumulates, it does not remain inert. Instead, it undergoes oxidation, generating harmful free radicals that attack vital organs such as your liver cells, pancreas, and even your brain tissue. Medically termed hemochromatosis, or iron overload, this condition essentially catalyzes oxidative damage within vital organs. Indeed, a 2022 study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition tracked 8,000 older adults over 5 years, revealing that those who took iron supplements without a confirmed deficiency exhibited 31% higher markers for liver damage and an 18% increased incidence of diabetes. Researchers concluded that excessive iron interferes with insulin sensitivity and accelerates the aging of insulin-producing pancreatic cells. Should iron supplementation be required due to a confirmed anemia, here's how to minimize potential harm. Firstly, never consume iron alongside coffee, tea, or dairy products, as these inhibit absorption, compelling you to take higher doses. Instead, pair it with vitamin C sourced from whole foods, such as half an orange, which significantly enhances absorption and thus reduces the required dosage. Secondly, monitor your ferritin levels every 3 months. Ferritin reflects your stored iron, offering a more comprehensive picture than merely measuring free iron in the bloodstream, which is what most doctors typically check. Thirdly, consider taking your iron supplement every other day rather than daily. Research indicates this approach can actually improve absorption rates while simultaneously reducing side effects. Consider the case of Margaret, a 67-year-old retired teacher from Ohio who complained of persistent fatigue. Her doctor prescribed iron supplements without checking her ferritin levels, which were already elevated at 280 Ng per milliliter, nearly double the healthy range. After 6 months of daily iron pills, her ferritin levels soared to 420 Ng per milliliter, and she developed joint pain, heart palpitations, and pre-diabetic symptoms. Once she discontinued the iron and began quarterly blood donations to lower her levels, her ferritin decreased to 150 ngMO. Within 8 months, her joint pain subsided, her blood sugar normalized, and surprisingly, her energy actually improved, as her body was no longer battling oxidative damage. Number 2. High-dose vitamin A, retinol. Vitamin A derived from retinol, distinct from beta-carotene, is often an unrecognized contributor to health issues, frequently found in many senior multivitamins and standalone supplements. While widespread concern exists regarding vitamin A deficiency, the reality is that vitamin A toxicity is more prevalent among older adults, and it is silently destroying bone from within. Most older adults are unaware that vitamin A is fat-soluble, meaning it accumulates in your liver and fatty tissues over years, potentially reaching toxic levels that can take a decade to clear. The recommended daily allowance, RDA, for vitamin A in men over 60 is only 900 micrograms, mcg, and for women, it's 700 mcg. However, many supplements contain 3,000 mcg or more of performed vitamin A, such as retinol or retinol palmitate. When combined with fortified foods and any vitamin A present in fish oil supplements you might be taking, it's alarmingly easy to exceed the safe intake by 5 times or more daily. Your liver possesses a limited capacity for processing vitamin A. Once this capacity is overwhelmed, excess vitamin A begins to interfere with vitamin D metabolism, a vitamin essential for calcium absorption and bone health. A 2023 study published in the New England Journal of Medicine tracking 72,000 older adults over 8 years found that individuals with the highest intake of vitamin A from supplements experienced a 48% increased risk of hip fractures and 16% lower bone density compared to those with moderate intake. Researchers discovered that excessive vitamin A activates osteoclasts, cells that break down bone tissue, while simultaneously inhibiting osteoblasts, cells that build new bone. It effectively primes your bones for accelerated breakdown. Immediately discontinue any supplement containing performed vitamin A if the dosage exceeds 1,500 mcg. Scrutinize all your supplements. It can be concealed in multivitamins, fish oil, and even certain calcium formulations. Instead, obtain your vitamin A from beta-carotene found in orange and green vegetables. Your body will only convert beta-carotene into vitamin A as needed, thereby preventing toxicity. If you have been taking high-dose vitamin A for many years, consult your doctor about a serum retinol test. Levels above 80 mcg/dl indicate excessive accumulation. James, a 72-year-old retired pilot from Arizona, had been taking a high-potency multivitamin and a fish oil supplement containing 3,000 mcg of vitamin A for 12 years. He also consumed liver once a week and sweet potatoes almost daily, believing he was maintaining excellent health. At 72, a simple fall in his garage resulted in a hip fracture. Blood tests revealed his serum retinol was dangerously high at 95 mcg/dl. Despite adequate calcium intake and exercise, his bone density scan showed osteoporosis. After discontinuing vitamin A from all supplements and limiting high vitamin A foods, his serum retinol decreased to 65 mcg/dl within 6 months. His bone density improved by 4% in 1 year, an outcome his doctor deemed nearly impossible at his age without medication. Number 1. Calcium carbonate supplements. Calcium carbonate is the most inexpensive and ubiquitous form of calcium found in supplements, accounting for 85% of pharmacy sales. These chalk-white tablets, marketed to prevent osteoporosis, may paradoxically be creating significant cardiovascular concerns. The issue isn't calcium itself. Rather, it lies in this specific form and how your body processes it after the age of 60. When you ingest calcium carbonate, it requires strong stomach acid for proper breakdown and absorption. But here is the crucial detail no one tells you. Stomach acid production declines by 40% after the age of 60. This situation is further exacerbated if you are taking acid blockers for heartburn. Consequently, much of that calcium carbonate, like concrete, remains largely undigested in your digestive system with minimal absorption. Your body utilizes only approximately 10% of it, while the remainder surges into your bloodstream, seeking a place to deposit. Where does it go? Not to your bones as intended, but directly to your arteries, heart valves, and kidneys. In a landmark 2024 study published in the Journal of Bone and Mineral Research, researchers tracked 6,000 women over 65 taking calcium carbonate supplements. Those consuming 1,000 milligrams or more daily exhibited a 27% increase in arterial calcification and a 19% higher incidence of kidney stones compared to women who obtained their calcium from food sources. The study's most astonishing finding was that the supplement group actually experienced a slightly higher rate of fractures than the food group, entirely defeating the intended purpose. If calcium supplementation is deemed necessary, switch to calcium citrate, which is absorbed without the need for strong stomach acid and does not lead to dangerous blood spikes. Limit each dose to no more than 500 milligrams, as your body cannot absorb more at once. Crucially, combine it with magnesium in a 1-to-1 ratio, along with vitamin D3 and vitamin K2. This synergistic combination directs calcium precisely to your bones and away from your arteries. Even better, prioritize obtaining calcium from dietary sources. A single cup of cooked kale contains 357 milligrams of highly absorbable calcium, alongside dozens of bone-building cofactors that supplements simply cannot replicate. Linda, a 68-year-old retired nurse from Florida, diligently took 1,200 milligrams of calcium carbonate daily for 5 years after her doctor warned her about osteoporosis. She developed severe constipation, experienced 2 kidney stones, and during a routine heart scan, doctors discovered significant calcification in her coronary arteries. At 68, her arteries had the biological age of an 80-year-old. After switching to 400 milligrams of calcium citrate with magnesium, D3, and K2, and incorporating more calcium-rich foods, her subsequent scan showed the calcification had ceased progressing. Her bone density actually improved more in 1 year than it had in the preceding 5 years on high-dose calcium carbonate. Health-enhancing supplements. These are the 4 potentially hazardous supplements to consider avoiding after 60. Now, let's unveil the 4 supplements that can genuinely transform your health in your later years, starting with our 4th recommendation. Number 4. PQ, pyrroloquinoline quinone. PQQ is, to date, the only nutrient discovered that can generate new mitochondria within aging cells. Mitochondria are the cellular powerhouses of every cell, and between the ages of 40 and 70, you lose 50% of them, explaining why everything feels more challenging as you age. PQQ not only safeguards existing mitochondria from damage, but also triggers mitochondrial biogenesis, the creation of fresh, new energy producers. This remarkable compound was only identified as essential for human health in 2003, which explains why most medical professionals are still unfamiliar with it. PQQ is remarkably potent, demonstrating 5,000 times greater efficiency than vitamin C and neutralizing free radicals. Unlike other antioxidants that become depleted, PQQ can perform 20,000 catalytic cycles before exhaustion. It uniquely protects brain cells from oxidative damage and improves nerve growth factors, which are critical for maintaining cognitive function after 60. According to a 2023 randomized controlled trial published in the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry, older adults taking 20 milligrams of PQQ daily for 12 weeks experienced a 23% increase in mitochondrial efficiency, measured by cellular ATP production. More notably, cognitive test scores improved by 30%, particularly in short-term memory and processing speed. Brain scans showed increased blood flow to the prefrontal cortex, the area most affected by aging. Participants also reported a 40% increase in sustained energy throughout the day, without any stimulant effects. Take 10 to 20 milligrams of PQQ with breakfast. Its energizing properties mean it's best to avoid taking it later in the day. Combine it with 200 milligrams of cocaine for a synergistic effect, as PQQ creates new mitochondria, and CoQ10 helps them efficiently produce energy. Look for bio-PQQ or micro-PQ on the label, which are patented forms proven for bioavailability. Effects typically emerge after 4 to 6 weeks of consistent use, with full benefits realized around 12 weeks. Helen, a 66-year-old retired librarian from Boston, felt like she was constantly living in a persistent cognitive fog. She required an afternoon nap by 2 p.m., would forget why she walked into rooms, and struggled to keep up with her grandchildren. Her doctor dismissed it as normal aging. After 2 months of taking 20 milligrams of PQQ daily with 200 milligrams of CoQ10, her energy levels underwent a profound transformation. She no longer needed afternoon naps. Her mental clarity returned to a level she hadn't experienced in a decade, and she could play with her grandchildren for hours. Blood tests revealed a 35% decrease in her markers of oxidative stress, and her cellular energy production increased by 28%. Number 3. Magnesium glycinate. While the public's focus often fixates on calcium, magnesium quietly orchestrates over 300 enzymatic reactions within your body, including those that enable you to properly utilize calcium. Despite its fundamental importance, a staggering 68% of older adults are severely deficient in magnesium. Standard blood tests frequently miss this deficiency, as only 1% of your body's magnesium resides in the bloodstream. The remainder is sequestered within your bones and cells. Magnesium glycinate is considered a highly bioavailable and preferred form of magnesium because it is bound to glycine, an amino acid that enhances absorption and readily crosses the blood-brain barrier. In stark contrast to magnesium oxide, which boasts an absorption rate of only 4% and often causes severe diarrhea, magnesium glycinate is absorbed with an impressive 80% efficiency without inducing digestive distress. It directly relaxes blood vessels, naturally lowering blood pressure, calms the nervous system for deeper, restorative sleep, and even aids in blood sugar regulation by improving insulin sensitivity. In a 2023 double-blind study published in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society, older adults who took 400 milligrams of magnesium glycinate daily for 12 weeks experienced an average 12-point reduction in systolic blood pressure, a 35% improvement in sleep quality scores, and a 23% decrease in inflammatory markers. The most remarkable finding was a 15% improvement in participants' arterial stiffness, measured by pulse wave velocity, which is equivalent to reversing 5 years of arterial aging. Aim for 200 milligrams of magnesium glycinate twice daily, once in the afternoon and again before bedtime. Never take it simultaneously with calcium, as they compete for absorption. Space them at least 2 hours apart. For maximal absorption, consume it with a small amount of healthy fat, such as a few almonds or half an avocado. If you experience loose stools, reduce the dosage and gradually increase it over 2 weeks. The therapeutic dose for most older adults is between 400 and 600 milligrams daily, but begin with 200 milligrams to assess tolerance. Patricia, a 69-year-old retired accountant from Colorado, suffered from nightly leg cramps. She battled chronic constipation, and her blood pressure consistently hovered around 150/95 mmHg despite medication. Her doctor had never assessed her magnesium status. She began taking 400 milligrams of magnesium glycinate daily, split into 2 doses. Within a week, her leg cramps vanished completely. A month later, Her blood pressure had dropped to 130/80 mmHg, allowing her to reduce her medication. Her constipation resolved, and most surprisingly, the chronic anxiety she had attributed to retirement stress significantly improved. Her red blood cell magnesium test, which measures cellular levels, increased from 4.2 milligrams DL to 5.8 milligrams DL in 3 months. Number 2. Vitamin D3 with K2. Vitamin D3 is not merely a vitamin. It is a potent hormone that regulates over 2,000 genes within your body. After the age of 60, your skin's capacity to produce vitamin D from sunlight diminishes by a substantial 75%. Furthermore, if you reside north of Atlanta, you will produce virtually no vitamin D from sun exposure between October and March. But here's the crucial, often overlooked component. Taking D3 in isolation, without K2, can be likened to directing traffic without clear signals. Vitamin D3 significantly boosts the absorption of calcium from your intestines. However, without vitamin K2 to direct that calcium to your bones, it can end up depositing in your arteries and organs. Vitamin K2 activates proteins called osteocalcin and matrix GL, A protein, which precisely shuttle calcium to where it belongs. The MK7 form of K2 is superior because it remains active in the body for 72 hours, whereas the MK4 form is active for only 8 hours. In a groundbreaking 2024 study published in the Journal of Bone and Mineral Metabolism, older adults who took 4,000 IU of D3 and 180 mcg of K2-MK7 daily for 1 year experienced a 3% increase in bone density alongside a 12% reduction in arterial calcification. In contrast, a control group taking D3 alone, despite achieving higher vitamin D levels, showed an increase in arterial calcification. Participants also reported a 40% reduction in respiratory infections and a 25% decrease in joint pain. Take 4,000 to 5,000 IU of D3, along with 180 to 200 mcg of K2-MK7 daily with your fattiest meal for optimal absorption. Initially, check your vitamin D levels every 3 months. Your target range should be 50 to 70 ng per milliliter, not the outdated minimum of 30 ng per milliliter. If you are severely deficient, below 20 ng per milliliter, you may require doses of 10,000 IU daily for several weeks under medical supervision. Crucially, if you are taking blood thinners such as warfarin, never take K2 without explicit approval from your doctor. George, a 74-year-old retired engineer from Seattle, had dangerously low vitamin D levels of only 12 ng per milliliter. He suffered from chronic back pain, caught a cold annually, and had fractured 2 ribs from minor falls. His doctor prescribed 50,000 IU of D2 weekly, but his levels showed minimal improvement. After switching to 5,000 IU of D3 with 200 mcg of K2-MK7 daily, his levels rose to 58 ng/ml within 3 months. His back pain diminished by 70%. For the first time in years, he went an entire winter without falling ill, and his DEXA scan revealed a 2.5% improvement in bone density in 1 year, a remarkable feat for someone in his 70s. Number 1. Omega-3 fatty acids, EPA and DHA, from algae or fish. Omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA, are among the most rigorously validated supplements for combating aging, with over 40,000 published studies supporting their efficacy. Your brain is comprised of 60% fat, and DHA alone constitutes 40% of the polyunsaturated fatty acids in your brain. After age 60, your body's ability to convert plant-based omega-3 south into EPA and DHA substantially declines, making direct supplementation crucial for preventing cognitive decline and cardiovascular disease. The key lies in achieving the correct ratio and dosage. You require at least 500 milligrams of EPA and 1,000 milligrams of DHA daily, a significantly higher amount than the insufficient dosages typically found in most supplements. EPA functions as a powerful anti-inflammatory agent, safeguarding your cardiovascular system, while DHA is paramount for maintaining brain structure and function. Most fish oil formulations are inverted, containing more EPA than DHA, yet your aging brain has a critical need for DHA. Algae-derived omega-3 south are an even superior choice, as they are more concentrated, environmentally sustainable, and free from mercury and microplastics. In a 2024 meta-analysis published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, which reviewed 31 trials involving over 50,000 participants, older adults taking therapeutic doses of omega-3 south experienced a 28% reduction in cardiovascular events, a 33% deceleration in cognitive decline, and a 42% decrease in inflammatory markers. The most compelling finding was that participants with the highest blood omega-3 levels exhibited biological aging markers equivalent to being 5 years younger than their chronological age. Consume a total of 2,000 to 3,000 milligrams of combined EPA and DHA daily with your fattiest meal to prevent fishy burps and maximize absorption. Seek out brands that are third-party tested and certified for purity by organizations like IFOS or USP. Store them in the refrigerator to prevent oxidation. If opting for fish oil, choose sources from small fish like sardines and anchovies, rather than salmon or tuna. For algae-based options, ensure they contain both EPA and DHA, as some only provide DHA. Richard, a 70-year-old retired firefighter from Texas, was experiencing memory lapses, joint pain from old injuries, and concerning cholesterol markers, with triglycerides at 285 milligrams DL. His doctor wanted to immediately initiate statin medication. Richard requested to try OMEGA3 South for 3 months first, taking 1,000 milligrams of EPA and 1,500 milligrams of DHA daily, sourced from algae. Within 12 weeks, his triglycerides plummeted to 142 milligrams DL, an effect even surpassing many medications. His joint pain decreased by 60%, allowing him to resume his morning walks. Most remarkably, his cognitive test scores improved by 25%, and his wife observed he was sharper in conversations and remembered details as he once did. His omega-3 index blood test soared from 3.2% to 8.1%, moving him from the high-risk range into the optimal range. We have now explored supplements that may inadvertently compromise your health and identified those poised to profoundly enhance your vitality. After the age of 60, the trajectory of healthy aging is often influenced by the contents of one's supplement regimen. Procrastination in addressing suboptimal supplementation means missed opportunities for regeneration and continued exposure to potential harm. We urge you to take immediate action today. Go to your supplement shelf now and meticulously examine those labels. Immediately cease taking the detrimental ones and strategically begin incorporating the beneficial ones. Your future self, years from now still walking with vigor, thinking with clarity, and living independently, will undoubtedly thank you for the choices you make today. Now, we eagerly await your insights. What aspects of these supplement revelations surprised you the most? Was it the potential for calcium to calcify arteries, or the capacity of PQQ to generate new mitochondria? Our second question for you is, which of these bad supplements are you currently taking, and which do you intend to discontinue immediately? We are dedicated to reading and responding to every comment, providing personalized advice tailored to your unique circumstances. Therefore, please share your answers below, and we will assist you in formulating your optimal supplement strategy. Thank you for watching.